Good day, good people, and welcome to Whiskey and Smoke News Network, your weekly whiskey, cigar, pipe, and pipe tobacco program, where we cover the news, new releases, upcoming events, and we throw in an interview with someone in the industry or someone who is industry adjacent for good measure. We may sometimes get a bit cheeky. We may even at times get a bit scholarly, but providing you with some entertaining content for the next hour or so is our ultimate goal. With all of that being said, please remember that you must be the appropriate age in your home country to watch or listen to this program, which is usually 18 or 21. So if you're not of the appropriate age in your home country, please stop watching or listening to the program now, but please do come back to the program when you are of the appropriate age. This is episode 18 for April 12th, 2026. My name is Chris Kumnick, and I'll be your host. Now, let's go ahead and take a little sneak peek of this week's Pop the Cork in-person interview with the Mr. Billy Walker of the GlenAllachie. We went in my trip over to Scotland recently. We went up to the actual distillery in the Speyside region of Scotland near Aberlour. We talked about how he got his start in the whiskey industry, took a tour of the distillery, and then talked about a bunch of things, including a little question he'd never been asked before, and I hope you enjoy it. But it's a Billy Walker tasting flight, what he would put on his tasting flight with all the places he has worked, because it's been a lot of places and done a lot of really, really good things. So let's take a look at that interview right now. Here we go.
You know, our challenge in life is to connect with whiskey people who are curious, inquisitive, interested. And that's the audience we have in the States. Mm-hmm. People who actually understand what we're trying to do and achieve. Right. It's not the biggest part of the American audience, but it's a very important one.
Right. Yeah, because especially with what you're doing.
Yeah.
You want, they will understand what you're doing. Yeah,
and it starts a conversation about GlenAllachie, or indeed any other distillery that's involved.
So, all of that with Billy Walker and more. But first, the news. In whiskey news, MGP Ingredients has announced that it will temporarily idle distilling operation at its Limestone Branch Distillery in Lebanon, Kentucky, and Lux Row Distillers in Bardstown, Kentucky, effective May 1st, 2026. The move is intended to better align production with current elevated inventory levels amid a structurally oversupplied American whiskey market. Distilling will continue uninterrupted at the company's largest facility in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. The decision will affect 33 employees, and MGP is providing direct support during the transition. Warehousing, bottling, barrel programs, and both visitor centers, including tours, tastings, and retail, will remain fully operational. The company expects to resume distilling at the two Kentucky sites within approximately 12 months, once inventory levels support additional production. CEO Julie Francis described the decision as difficult but necessary for long-term efficiency. Sazerac Company has officially named its Laverne, Tennessee operation the A.J. Bond Distillery, as it prepares to launch its first Tennessee whiskey in the summer of 2026. The name honors the long-standing partnership between master distiller Alyssa Henley and the late John Lunn, two veteran distillers who helped develop the mash bill and production methods for Sazerac's Tennessee whiskey program. Sazerac first entered the category in 2016 with the acquisition of the Popcorn Sutton Distillery, and later reallocated operations to Laverne, where it has continued to invest in capacity and inventory. The debut will mark Sazerac's formal entry into the Tennessee whiskey segment, long dominated by Jack Daniels. Additional details about the new brand are expected in the coming months. Sazerac has approached Louisville-based Brown-Forman about a potential deal, according to a Wall Street Journal report, just weeks after Brown-Forman confirmed it is in discussions with Pernod Ricard regarding a possible merger of equals. Both Sazerac and Brown-Forman declined to comment on the report. A Sazerac-Brown-Forman combination would merge two of Louisville's largest and most prominent spirits companies, uniting Brown-Forman's Jack Daniels and Woodford Reserve with Sazerac's Buffalo Trace, Fireball, and Buzzballs portfolios. The reported interest comes amid broader industry challenges, including slowing spirit sales, shifting consumer preferences, and increased competition from alternatives like cannabis and THC beverages. Analysts have described the moves as large players seeking greater scale and stability in a difficult market. It remains unclear whether Sazerac's approach will lead to formal negotiations or how it might affect Brown-Forman's ongoing talks with Pernod Ricard. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit has struck down the federal law dating way back to 1868 that bans home alcohol distillation. The ruling that exceeds Congress's power under the taxing clause and the necessary and proper clause. In a unanimous decision written by Judge Edith Jones and joined by liberal Judge James Graves, the court upheld that the ban does not raise revenue and in fact prevents revenue from being generated and is not a proper means of carrying out any enumerated federal power. The ruling is notable victory for home distillers and constitutional federalism with cross-ideological agreement. However, its scope is limited because the government did not argue the Commerce Clause on appeal, leaving open the possibility that the ban could still be upheld under that broader power, as seen in precedents like Gonzalez v. Rake, versus the decision applies in the Fifth Circuit and similar challenges are pending elsewhere. Ian McLeod Distillers officially opened Lagan Bay Distillery on April 2nd, 2026, filling its first cask and becoming the 11th working single malt distillery on the island ahead of Porton-Trewin. The family-owned distillery, led by managing director Leon Russell, his son Tom Russell, and Islay native distillery manager Malcolm Rennie, aims to create a distinctive new Islay whiskey focused on clarity of spirit and balanced flavor. Designed with a long-term vision, Lagan Bay emphasizes sustainability, including wetlands for waste management and wildlife, and local employment. Named after the windswept Lagan Bay coastline and featuring a logo inspired by the resident bottlenose dolphins, the distillery will welcome visitors during this year's Fagile Festival on 31st of May 2026. Details of its house style and future releases will be revealed as the whiskey matures. Whitby Distillery is launching a new crowdfunding campaign on Republic Europe, formerly Cedars, on April 9th, 2026 to raise €200,000 for its forthcoming Abbey Lands Distillery. The new destination distillery, located next to the iconic Whitby Abbey, will include a visitor center, tasting bar, and production facilities to create the brand's first small batch coastal whiskey. The project aims to capitalize on the area's 9 million annual visitors, significantly boost direct-to-consumer sales, and support the development of aged spirits. Whitby Distillery, founded by Luke Pentith and Jessica Slater, has shown strong growth, generating $1.63 million in revenue in the years ending February 2026, with a 36% compound annual growth rate since 2017, while also producing gin, rum, and vodka. Cotswolds Distillery has launched a limited edition single cask whiskey exclusively for Birmingham Airport. Cask number 2246, filled on the 20th of April in 2018 and matured in first fill reconditioned red wine cask, was bottled on the 30th of January 2026 at 61.9% ABV. Only 275 individually numbered bottles were produced, now available solely at the airport's World Duty Free store for £99. The whiskey, made from 100% locally grown Cotswolds barley, offers notes of cherries, chocolate, and baking spices on the nose, with figs, plums, milk chocolate, cinnamon, and creamy red fruit on the palate, finishing with spiced cherries and sweet tannins. The release strengthens Cotswolds' long-standing partnership with Avolta and highlights the growing appeal of English single malt in travel retail. Scottish spirits innovator Doine has launched a Kickstarter campaign to test whether maturing a spirit under extreme abyss-level pressures can dramatically transform its flavor. Following last year's successful experiment maturing rum and whiskey at 214 meters deep in Loch Ness, which produced measurable chemical changes and improved flavor, the company now aims to simulate conditions at 1,000 fathoms or 1,830 meters, 6,003 feet, nearly 10 times deeper, using a controlled hydrostatic pressure chamber on land initially, with a possible full ocean trial later. The project explores how intense pressure compresses air bubbles in the casks and wood, forcing greater interaction between the spirit and oak. Founder James Patterson says the experiment builds on the curiosity-driven Loch Ness trials and could open a new chapter in whiskey and rum maturation. The 30-day Kickstarter launched on 9th of April and invites backers to support the project, potentially receive limited releases if successful. Brother Justice Distillery in Minneapolis has rebranded its whiskeys as American whiskey after the 2025 TTB ruling stripped it of its right to use American single malt label. The distillery continues to produce its spirits using 100% malted barley distilled on site in pot stills in line with traditional single malt methods, but the new regulations disqualify it due to its higher distillation proof. Rather than compromise its process by lowering the proof, founder and CEO Phil Steger chose quality and craft integrity over category compliance. The rebrand is accompanied by a new logo featuring a blacksmith's hammer and a circle of light honoring the Prohibition-era monk Brother Justice, who built stills for struggling Minnesota farmers. Steger has also released a manifesto defending innovation in the American whiskey and petition to raise the proof limit for the American single malt category. Buffalo Trace Distillery has released 2 new limited edition whiskeys. Single Oak Rye Bourbon, the first permanent expression from its long-running Single Oak project, and Low Entry Proof Wheated Bourbon, the 28th release in its experimental collection. The Single Oak Rye Bourbon replicates the exact mash bill and barrel conditions of the fan-favorite barrel number 80 from the 1999 project, entered at 62.5% ABV, aged 8 years in specially selected lower tree oak with level 4 char, and bottled at 45% ABV. The low entry proof wheated bourbon tests a lower barrel entry proof of 52.5% ABV versus the usual 57% to study its effect on wood interaction and flavor, and is bottled at 53.5% ABV. Both are available in 3.7 or 375 milliliter bottles starting April 2026, priced at $74.99 for the Single Oak Rye and $46.99 for the low entry proof wheated bourbon. Warringhem Distillery has elevated the Amaric small batch Shoshen to a permanent 46% ABV expression, citing high demand for its unique double matured profile, featuring 4 years in new Brenton oak, followed by 3 years in Shoshen or mead casks. The whiskey, which highlights Breton terroir with notes of honey, beeswax, and spice, was added permanently following the success of its 2025 limited release. And in some sad news, Stuart Hunter Lang, founder of Hunter Lang & Company and a respected figure in the Scotch whiskey industry for over 60 years, has died at the age of 79. He passed away peacefully on 8th of April 2026, surrounded by his family. Lang began his career with an apprenticeship at the Bruichladdich Distillery, spent most of his working life at the family firm Douglas Lang & Company, and in 2013 established Hunter Lang & Company with his sons. He fulfilled his long-held ambition by opening Islay's 9th single malt distillery, Ardnahoe, in 2018, known for his stoicism, good humor, and lifelong passion for the industry, as well as support of the Queen's Park Football Club. He remained involved in the business until the end. He was keeper and master of the Quake, and a liveryman of the Worshipful Discomfort of Distillers. Now, in cigar news, and I will tell you, there is a lot, mainly because of all the releases that are going to be happening at what? This week's PCA trade show and conference in New Orleans. So, first off, Oliva Cigar Company has unveiled the Series 5 Milanio Gran Reserva Limitada World Cup 2026 edition, a 24-count box designed to resemble a soccer ball that contains 12 standard and 12 Maduro 6x60 box-pressed cigars. Limited to 5,000 units, the set is priced at $680 and will ship to retailers following the 2026 PCA convention and trade show, featuring a special secondary band for the occasion. PDR Cigars is reintroducing its premium small batch AFR 75 line this summer, featuring both Mexican San Andreas Claro and Maduro wrappers over aged Dominican and Nicaraguan fillers. The line, designed for balance and complexity, features 3 vitolas in new 10-count boxes shipping in June, following a display at the 2026 PCA convention. Hermanos de Armas is celebrating the U.S. 250th anniversary with the release of Sentinel, a limited edition 6x50 Toro scheduled to ship in June. Developed in collaboration with Lee Marsh of Stolen Throne Cigars and produced at the Rojas Cigar Factory, this release marks the brand's first project outside of Fabrica Oveja Negra. Named in honor of the military surveillance air crews, the cigar features a Mexican San Andreas wrapper over Nicaraguan tobacco, offering a sweet and chocolatey profile with subtle spice limited to just 600 boxes of 20. The Sentinel will retail for $14.50 per cigar and will be showcased at the 2026 PCA Convention and Trade Show this April. Karen Berger Cigars is expanding its Exteli line with a new 5x50 Robusto featuring a Habano Criollo wrapper, Jalapa binder, and Nicaraguan filler. Shipping next week and priced at $13.50. This regular production cigar joins the Exteli Toro in 20-count boxes and is produced at the Esteli Cigars SA. Selected Tobacco is celebrating the 175th anniversary of the Lord Byron brand with the release of a high-end limited edition humidor shipping next week. Designed by Nelson Alfonso, each of the 175 numbered sets features 60 aged cigars, 15 each from the 1850, 19th, 20th, and 21st century lines, alongside a premium cigar case and matching ashtray. The gold-accented humidor includes hidden humidification chambers and a discreetly built-in hygrometer and unlocking mechanism. Priced at $5,000, this collector's item honors the Alfonso family's multi-generational tobacco legacy and will be a centerpiece for the brand at the upcoming PCA convention in New Orleans. Paustani is expanding its core lineup with the Paustani Sumatra, its 5th regular production line, debuting at the PCA show this week. Crafted at the Nica Sueño factory, the blend features an Ecuadorian Sumatra seed wrapper, binders from Mexico and Pennsylvania, and fillers from the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. The line introduces 4 unique box press sizes ranging from Petite Robusto to a Churchill, with prices between $13.50 and $16 per cigar. Retailers can expect shipments to begin immediately following the New Orleans event, marking a long-awaited statement release for the brand. Altadis USA is celebrating the 30th anniversary of the non-Cuban St. Louis Rey brand by reuniting with master blender Christian Iora of CLE to recreate the profile of its original 1996 debut. The St. Louis Rey Iora 30th anniversary features a unique Colombian Pinareño wrapper over a Honduran Corojo binder and a blend of Corojo and Pinareño fillers. Available in 4 vitolas, Rothschild, Torpedo, Toro, and Titan, and prices ranging from $12 to $13.50 per cigar. The line is packaged in 25-count cabinet-style boxes. The cigars will be officially introduced at the PCA convention in New Orleans and are expected to begin shipping to retailers shortly after the event. Amirati Cigar is launching Dinara, a new regular production line debuting at the 2026 PCA convention and trade show in New Orleans. Named after the Middle Eastern dinar, the blend features a 7-year-old Honduran Corojo wrapper over Honduran Nicaraguan binders and fillers and is produced at the Davidoff-owned Diadema factory in Honduras. The line will be available in 3 vitolas, a Robusto, Toro, and Figurado, and packaged in 20-count boxes, with final pricing to be announced. It is inspired by luxury and culture of the Middle East. The dinar is expected to ship to retailers immediately following the April trade show. Mexico is set to receive a new Cuban Edición Regional release with a debut of the Juan Lopez Bésame Mucho, launching at an event on April 24th. This 6.5 by 54 double Robusto is named after the iconic 1932 Bolero by Mexican songwriter Consuelo Valaquez, the most recorded Spanish-language song in history. Priced at approximately $60 per cigar, the Sublimes Vitola marks the second time this specific size has been used for a Juan Lopez regional edition. Following its formal introduction at the Grand Cigar event in Valquerico, the cigars will hit full retail across Mexico on April 25th. Quesada Cigars is honoring Patriarch Manuel Manolo Quesada Jr.'s 79th birthday with a limited edition Don Manolo 79, a 6x52 Toro featuring tobacco set aside since the late 90s. Blended by his daughters Raquel and Patricia, the cigar marks the first time a birthday release has occurred outside of a 5-year milestone and features packaging commemorating significant family moments. Priced at $21.99 per cigar, production is limited to 1,000 boxes of 10, with 700 allocated for the U.S. market. The blend will be showcased at the 2026 PCA Convention and Trade Show this month, with retail launch expected in August. Luciano Cigars is expanding its portfolio with Luciano the Maker, a new medium to full-bodied core line debuting at the 2026 convention. The blend features a Habano Corojo 99 wrapper, dual binders from Ecuador and Mexico, and fillers from the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. It's available in 2 sizes, a Toro and Sublime, and it's priced between $12.75 and $12.95 per cigar. This release continues the brand's thematic series exploring human concepts like the traveler, the dreamer. It's produced at Luciano Tobacco's SA in Nicaragua, and the cigars are scheduled to ship to retailers in late May. Apostate Cigars is expanding its portfolio at the PCA convention with 2 unique releases and updated packaging. The Lost Pages is a 4x20 machine-made cigarillo, utilizing the remnants from the brand's 8 core blends, while Death Mask marks the company's first project with Fabrica Oveja Negra factory in Nicaragua. This limited edition 5.5 by 48 Robusto is restricted to just 250 boxes and is slated for an October release. Additionally, Apostate will introduce 20 new 20-count boxes for its entire core lineup later this year, moving beyond its traditional bundle-only options. Didier Cigars is introducing 2 premium additions to its portfolio at the 2026 convention, both crafted in SLE to emulate classic Cuban profiles. The Rachel is a 6 3/4 by 54 double Toro, featuring an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper designed to mimic the taste of the Cohiba Bijique. Joining it is the Whisperer, a stout 4.5 by 64 old world Cuban style cigar, utilizing a Habano Oscuro wrapper, in its initial run is strictly limited to 500 boxes. Following their New Orleans debut, both expressions are scheduled to ship to retailers immediately after the show. Lure Cigars is diving into the 2026 convention with a show-exclusive limited release called the Wahoo. Named after the sleek sportfish, this blend features a Mexican San Andreas wrapper over Nicaraguan binder and fillers. It's crafted at La Tabacaria in SLE. The release consists of 2 box-pressed torpedoes, the Ono and the Kingfish, both priced at $16 per cigar and sold in 10-count craft paper bundles. Retailers must attend the New Orleans show to place orders for these highly limited sticks, which are scheduled to ship in mid-May. Gellis Family Cigars, the brand from Warp Cigars owner Kyle Gellis, is returning to the 2026 convention with its 3rd annual Peace Unique release. This year's version is a 6x52 Toro featuring an Ecuadorian Connecticut shade wrapper, a Mexican San Andreas binder, and filler from Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic. It's rolled at the La Isla factory and aged for 1 year. The cigars are limited to just 500 boxes of 15 and carry an MSRP of $40 per stick. Maintaining the watch-inspired one-of-one philosophy, the 2026 blend will never be produced again once it ships to retailers later this year. El Septimo is expanding its royal-themed portfolio with the Queen Sheba Conquest Edition Series 2, a new blend set to debut at the 2026 PCA convention. This 6x54 Toro Extra features an undisclosed wrapper over an Ecuadorian Habano binder and a complex filler blend from the Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Aimed at the luxury market with a $30 price point, the cigar is described as a performance product offering notes of dark cocoa, black coffee, and exotic African spices. While it will be showcased in New Orleans, the company has yet to announce the official shipping date for this follow-up to the original 2023 release. Gran Habano has announced Rise by Women of PCA, a special 6x54 Toro created to raise funds for the Premium Cigar Association's women-focused initiative. The medium-bodied blend features an Ecuadorian sun-grown Habano wrapper over Nicaraguan Habano binder and filler tobaccos. All proceeds from the sale of this release will be donated directly to the Women of PCA program to support its mission within the industry. While final pricing has not yet been disclosed, the cigar will debut at the PCA convention this week and is scheduled to begin shipping to retailers in May. Adventura is bringing back Blue-Eyed Jack's Revenge Maduro High Tide this spring for its second limited edition run. This 6.5x50 Diadema features a Mexican San Andreas Maduro wrapper over a Dominican binder and filler, maintaining the same rich profile as its 2025 debut. Produced at Tabacalera Mina del Rey, the release is strictly limited to 1,000 boxes of 10 cigars, with each stick priced at $21.80. Retailers can expect these highly sought-after cigars to begin shipping in May. Swiss company Patoro is celebrating its 25th anniversary with the debut of the Cuvée Royale 25, a limited edition Dominican Puro launching at the 2026 PCA convention. It's produced at the De Los Reyes factory. This 6 3/10 by 53 Vitola is crafted from premium aged tobaccos to offer a rich, complex profile. The release is restricted to just 600 boxes of 20 cigars, with 300 boxes allocated for the U.S. market at an MSRP of $35 per cigar. American retailers can expect shipments in June, followed by a European release in September, marking a major milestone for the brand founded by industry veteran Patrick Martin. Marlon Wayans is expanding his Liga Tridente portfolio with 2 regular production editions debuting at the 2026 PCA convention. The Rosado Churchill, a 7x46 Vitola, features a dark Rosado Oscuro wrapper and Colombian fillers, while the Connecticut Robusto 5x50 utilizes a Costa Rican binder and broadleaf fillers for $15. Both cigars are produced in Danlí, Honduras, and are scheduled to begin shipping to retailers within 2 months of their New Orleans debut. Barreda Cigars is debuting 2 new lines at the 2026 convention, led by the Vega Suprema Oro, a medium-bodied blend featuring an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, and is designed with an emphasis on balance and clean flavor transitions. It will be available in 3 sizes, including a box-pressed Toro. Joining it is the Lotes Reservados No. 10, a more budget-friendly series focused on aged Nicaraguan tobaccos with prices starting at $5.60. Retailers who carry the Lotes Reservados line will receive a complimentary display humidor. Both lines will be open for orders during the New Orleans show. My Father Cigars is celebrating 2 decades of its Nicaragua-made heritage with Don Pepin Garcia Classico 20th Anniversary. This commemorative release is a 6.5x52 Toro Extra, limited to just 2,500 boxes of 20 cigars, with each box including a custom single guillotine cutter. While specific blend details and pricing remains under wraps, the project is a deliberate tribute to the original Black Label Cuban classic that marked the family's early production shift to Nicaragua. The new anniversary edition will be a focal point for the company at the 26th PCA convention. Diab Alan's La Amira brand has launched its first ever broadleaf release, the La Amira Vintage Broadleaf, featuring tobaccos exclusively from the 2018 harvest. Produced at Manufactura Rivas in the Dominican Republic, the blend utilizes a Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper over a Nicaraguan binder and a mix of Corojo and broadleaf fillers. Available in 2 large format vitolas, a 7x54 Toro and a 7x60 Magnum. Both are priced at $11.95 per cigar and come in 20 count boxes. They're designed to deliver an intense, rich character. These cigars are already in stock and ready to ship to retailers ahead of the 2026 PCA convention. And finally, Altadis USA is expanding its acclaimed Nicaraguan series with the Montecristo Espada Conquistador, a medium to full body blend produced by Plasencia in Esteli. This June release features a jalapa wrapper, a binder from the volcanic island of Ometepe, and fillers from Condega and Esteli. Available in 4 vitolas, Ericaso, Guard, Quillon, and Magnum Especial. The cigars are priced between $19.95 and $22.50 per cigar and will be packaged in 10-count boxes. Building on a decade of collaboration between Monte Cristo and Plasencia, the Conquistador will be a headline attraction at the PCA convention next week. Now, in upcoming events, the PCA Association Trade Show is once again in New Orleans from April 17th through the 20th. I will be attending as a member of the press. The Texas Whiskey Festival will take place April 18th at Star Hill Ranch in Bee Cave, Texas. The Ultimate Whiskey and Spirits Experience will take place at the Wynn Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada on April 22nd through the 24th. Whiskey Fair in Limburg, Germany will take place in April 25th through the 26th. The Chicago International Pipe Show will be happening April 30th through May 3rd at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare in Chicago. The Spirit of Speyside Festival will take place April 29th through May 4th, all around the Speyside region of Scotland. Whiskey Live Melbourne will take place May 1st and 2nd at St. Kilda Hall in Melbourne, Australia. The Spirit of Toronto will be held at the Roy Thompson Hall in Toronto on May 9th. Maltstock Down Under will take place at Ratho Farm in Tasmania, Australia on May 15th. And finally, the Somerton Whiskey Festival will take place at the Lower Red Lion in St. Albans, England on May 16th. And now we move on to our Pop the Cork in-depth interview of the week with the Mr. Billy Walker, the legend, the master blender, and owner of the GlenAllachie Distillery up near Aberlour, Scotland. We cover all things happening at the distillery, what age means in the flavor of whiskey, and as a bonus, we get him to name a Billy Walker tasting flight. So please sit back, grab a dram, pour that glass, pick out a good stick and torch it up, grab your favorite pipe, pack the bowl with your favorite tobacco, and light away. Then listen to the interview. Please enjoy.
Site.
Yep.
It's a big distillery. Can produce 4 million litres. We reverted immediately on acquisition. We reverted to long fermentation.
Yes.
So essentially, we have reduced the capacity of the site to about 1 million litres.
Okay.
We're operating about 800,000.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the things I was reading. That you really, I mean, it was actually fairly quick fermentation prior to you, right?
It was standard. 50,
standard. Okay.
50, 55
but you moved
hours.
it out to
anything between 120 and 160 hours.
Yeah, which is pretty long.
It's long, and it's a challenge.
Yeah.
From a hygiene point of view, it's a challenge. But well-maintained distillery. It's in good condition. We recently installed a series of kit called mechanical vapor recompression.
Okay.
If you did physics at school or maybe a little university, essentially it's it's the gas laws. Charles law and Boyle's law. We recover low-grade steam, we compress it, and turn it into high-grade steam. Our gas usage has been reduced.
Is that what we're seeing right behind here?
Yes, that's a boiler.
That's it.
It's been reduced by about 50%, so we're operating at 50% of where we were previously.
That's fantastic.
And I have to say, it's working very well.
Yeah. So you're literally taking some of your excess steam
yes,
and then
low-grade steam.
Compressing
it.
And then reusing it again, basically. Yeah. So it's almost not self-generating, but you're not having to...
We're recovering any kind of waste steam we're recovering.
Yeah.
We were nervous, I have to say.
I'm sure it wasn't a cheap purchase or a cheap capital.
No, it was expensive.
Yeah.
It was, it had to work.
Yeah. Well, it sounds
but the reality is that this kind of challenge for all distillers is ahead of us. There will be an expectation that we will use less gas or less fossil fuel.
Yep.
And then the next step is, and this actually can accommodate it, this burner can burn a combination of natural gas and hydrogen. Hydrogen's not there yet.
Right.
But the only way...
But the ability is there too.
The
if you
ability
need
is
to,
there
yeah,
to do
or
it,
can
yeah.
do it in
Yeah.
the future.
We've also installed some solar panels to assist in our electrical journey.
Yeah. Now, I earlier this week or last week, I visited one of your old haunts at Deanston, and I found out all about how they use the water. They self-generate electricity.
They've been there for a long time.
Right. Yeah. So how old is GlenAllachie?
Oh, 69, I think it was.
69 it was built?
68,
Yeah.
68,
Okay.
69. So we operate 5 days.
Yep.
Only one shift or 1.5 shifts.
Okay.
Which makes life easy for the operators, the
Mm-hmm.
technicians. The system it's a big mash tun,
Yeah.
10.3 tons. But it's
So one single mash tun, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
semi-lauter, very effective.
May I walk around?
Sure, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty big.
Yeah. We do 5 mashes a week.
Can't see the bottom that much. 5 mashes a week. How many tons do you use, you said? Sorry? Per?
It's 10.3.
10.3.
So you're looking at approximately 4,000 litres per mash.
Wow.
Oh, 4 litres of alcohol.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
This is a very traditional distillery.
Oh yeah. And then you're grinding your mill room. Everybody has their...
It's been here for a while. The mills,
the original Porteous, yeah, Porteous.
the mills have outlived the company. The company doesn't. They didn't build it. They didn't build in enough obsolescence.
Exactly. Yes. Well, there's something to be said about that. But yeah, it kind of ran themselves out of a market, huh?
Indeed, they did, and a growing market. But yeah, look, these things are terrific.
So yeah, like what do the new guys have to do? Let's say like over at the cairn.
There will be a mill. There are mills, and mills that essentially are made for breweries. And
Right. Okay. So they're still available,
Sure,
but
sure.
not
this
beauties like these, right?
Not the Porsches.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And it's typical. And
Yep.
once you've set the rollers, don't touch anything.
Yep.
And this is kind of grist. This is about 60% grist, 10% flour, and the balance is husk.
Okay. So how many percent?
60.
60? 10? So
10.
that's the 70 and then the rest is...
Yeah, it's husk.
Okay, husk.
That's important for filtration.
For the mash tun, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really all it's for, really? I mean, you're getting most of your sugars out of these two, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want too much of this. This will
otherwise that'll clog up, right?
Yeah.
End up being like porridge or...
Yeah. No, well, not so much porridge, but it tends to blind the filter.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So we don't touch the rollers.
How often are you getting shipments of grain in? Daily, usually?
Yeah, daily.
While you're producing?
Yeah, daily. That's an interesting topic, the cereal. Our preference would be if we could retrace our steps and go back to the original style of malted barley.
What are you using now, currently? Or what are most people, is it what most people's using?
Yeah,
now?
I think it's Laureate.
Okay.
But we would like to go back to...
It's Golden Promise or something
Golden
like that.
Promise,
Yeah, right, yeah.
You know,
It's
today,
just, isn't that people went away from it because it was not as...
people went away from it because they wanted more yield.
Yes, right, yeah.
The reality is that we're not fascinated by yield. We're not obsessed with yield. We're obsessed with quality.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I started out in this industry, we would get, Golden Promise would give us about 395 litres per tonne.
Mm-hmm.
Today, it might be Laureate, I'm not sure, Concerto, we're getting 425. And that's been driven by people who want higher yield. Our preference is a balance of yield and quality and interesting other things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I've actually heard that there is, like, probably you might be one of them who would love to go back to Golden Promise.
Well, we're already growing it with some local farmers.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because of the quality.
Because of, and also because of, there's a kind of traditional dimension to it as well.
Yep.
Fermenters are, we inherited stainless steel, and I have to say that for the journey we're on, stainless steel is perfect. I'm not sure that we could actually manage doing long fermentation with wooden fermenters.
Right, yeah.
The hygiene management is so important. So stainless steel is working. For the kind of operation we are, stainless steel is perfect.
So like you said, you're doing five fermentations a week?
We're doing 5 a week.
And you have 6, so you have you can at least be cleaning one while you're...
Yeah.
Got it. Or did they leave one like over the weekend? Or you probably have to. I mean, if it's the 160 hours, yeah, you are, aren't you? Yeah.
Like this one. This is dead.
Yeah. There's just tiny little bits of light. Yeah, just a hint. Yes.
It finishes, the actual conversion, sugar to alcohol, finishes after about 45, 50 hours.
Okay.
After that, we rouse it, bring in some oxygen. So we're looking to encourage other reactions, right. Especially creating some organic acids and then creating some esterification. Mm-hmm. That's what we're looking for. Are we achieving it? Probably.
Yeah.
We don't actually measure it. We don't have any HPLC or very sensitive instrumentation. But this is the right thing. We know it's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you've done short. I mean, you've worked places where I'm sure it was shorter.
Sure.
Everything. You can tell a difference.
Yes.
But in the new make.
Yes.
But yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, and that's probably the biggest, at least initial.
CO2 extraction.
Okay, I was like, oh. Oh, it measures it, and it gets to a certain level, it turns on? Okay. Very neat. Very, very cool. Well, fantastic. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Still house.
Yes.
Wash stills, spirit stills, and this is part of the mechanical vapor recompression system.
Right.
Big condensers. These vats here are trapping the waste steam.
Okay.
And then it's been fed into the compressors.
Okay.
You can see just a little buckle in the shoulder. See,
yeah. Okay. Yes.
And this one is the same. So that was replaced about a year ago.
Okay.
This one, we're actually taking the weight off the shoulder at the moment.
Okay, so I see. Yeah, now right,
and that's
before it goes up. It's starting to right.
This is going to get sorted next week.
So how much of this comes off to this line here?
Here to here.
Here to here.
Actually, looking at this one, they must have they took the whole. It may actually be to here.
That to here, down to here. Yeah, because this looks the same.
But the reduction in the thickness of the copper is much more obvious in the wash stills than in the spirit stills because there are solids in here, and they're bumping into it. So this week we'll see some interesting work going on.
So that's that over here.
That's the
same as another for this still, and that's for that still. Okay.
Yeah.
Are your line arms, well, this one's not as critical, the direction, correct?
I think the wash still, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Essentially,
it's the spirit
much
still
more
that matters.
important than the spirit stills.
Right. And yours is actually, it appears to me, ever slightly downhill,
Yeah.
which makes it a little harder for it to get out, right?
Yes, but it also...
Or no, it's actually a little easier. Because it'll go over the edge and come down.
Essentially means that you're making more muscular spirit.
Yeah, right.
You're getting more of the congeners coming over.
Yeah, if it's the...
If it's going up the way, it's fighting up the way.
Right.
Yeah. You're going to get a lighter spirit.
Yeah, you're gonna, if you have the upward bend.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So,
And the cut, we start the cut about 72.
yeah.
And we take it down to about 62.1.
Okay.
And we still use the traditional method. We still test. When we're starting the spirit distillation, we test the faints or the foreshots with add some water to see if it's cloudy. Once the cloudiness disappears,
Yes.
we're on.
Okay. I had learned that from the there was that little documentary. I think it was The Water of Life, and Jim McEwen had talked about that.
It's essentially that's where the
Yeah.
peppery aldehydes are, right at the front. So you're just making sure that's out of the way.
Yeah.
Off you go.
Yep. No, this is. I mean, it's not an old distillery, like you said, from *60s, but.
Let me tell you, this is not quite how we inherited it.
Well, you've improved it.
Well, the cosmetics certainly.
Yes. Very cool. So they'll literally, they're going to do this one? No,
this one,
they're
yeah.
doing this one next.
They'll take it through the roof.
So
they'll raise this part of the still.
Yep.
Cut out this.
Yep.
They'll take it through the roof. And then they'll bring it in and they'll install it. They'll actually install it. This whole still was taken off-site.
Right.
And that was a hassle.
So they're going to, this one was taken off-site.
Site.
This one they're going to just do it here.
Do it on site,
Yeah.
And that's the benefit of local people. I mean, the science are top class.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I've met a few of them at some of the trade shows over in the States. So.
Top class guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most people in Scotland use them, right? Most.
Yeah, well, listen, they're not the only people, but they're the best people.
Exactly, right, exactly, yes. Yeah. So cool. Thank you. Yeah, this is wonderful. I love the smell of a still house.
I have to say that I was very nervous about this. And it caused us and the installation caused a lot of heartache because we were down for a while. But I have to say, it's working. I mean, infinitely better than I had anticipated.
Good.
And smoothly, seamlessly.
Yeah. Well, it's not like you're the trial run, right?
Kind of, we are a wee bit.
Really?
For that company, we were.
Okay.
Other people have done it. Shivers have done it. They did it with their own engineering staff.
Right.
No surprise. I think Diageo have done it at Windtalkers. Have they got Windtalkers? I think they have. But in terms of private distilleries, we certainly will be the first.
Okay.
And I'm happy to say it's worked really well.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
But you would only do it with the wash stills.
Yes,
right. You wouldn't do it with...
Yeah. So you had to obviously, like you said, you had to but you still had to fit it in here.
Big challenge. And also the actual level at which the compressors are at is really important. There's got to be a distance, particular distance between the compressors and the bottom of the still.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad it's behind us.
Yes, and it's working, so that's fantastic. So, for example, these were made not at Forsyths, right?
These are made at Macmillan's.
In Macmillan's,
I think that company is now owned by another company called Briggs.
Okay.
But it's interesting. This replacement was done by Macmillan's, and you know they had the original designs from the first installation.
Yeah. Yeah. All those copper guys are just amazing. Just truly, truly amazing.
Oh, they're real artists.
Yeah. So I've heard that maybe older stills than this, the copper that they used to use was actually really thick compared to what they're doing nowadays. Is that?
No, I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
It's also the case that distillation techniques, the whole systems were a little bit more robust
Sure.
than they are today. A lot of it would be direct firing, which might have been more aggressive in the still.
Yeah.
I mean, today it's indirect heating. It's either pans or whatever method you use, and it's more gentle.
Yeah. So you don't have to have the thickness.
No.
Yeah. You can get away with a little lighter and okay. So I know copper is obviously it's always in demand in today's world.
Well, it's important for the spirit. The copper essentially. First of all, it's a soft metal. It's easy to work with, but it also, from a scientific point of view, it chelates with any of the sulfurs. So it removes any of the sulfurs actually from the distillate, and that's quite important.
Yes. Yeah.
It tidies it up and cleans
the
it.
more contact you can have with the copper, the better your spirit's going to be.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you. This is wonderful.
Good team here.
Yeah.
We're a very experienced senior brewer.
Yeah.
Top guy.
Yeah. Excellent. So how often do you get up this way?
Oh, probably a couple of days a week.
Okay.
Look, if I'm honest, the people here are they are so competent and talented that the actual operational side of it is not a challenge. My job really is to create things.
Sure, I understand. Yeah. You know what's going on, but you're not you're not in charge of the production. You help probably schedule and everything, but as far as actual making, you've got competent people doing that for you.
Very competent people. Yeah. The distillery manager here, unfortunately, he's retiring again. It's Alan McConaughey.
Yeah.
And Alan and I have worked together for way back to the Bunsure days.
Yeah.
Alan came to be the manager at Old Tobermory. Then we managed to relocate him to Benriach and Dronach and Glasgow.
Yeah.
And then he was with Brent Foreman for a couple of years, I think. And we had a conversation.
Understand. Would it be possible to go look in the warehouses or no?
I don't think they're open.
Okay, that's cool. No,
let me check.
Nope. If not, totally cool. I just love a barrel house.
And this pond was originally the cooling system.
Okay.
So the condensed water would come out and go into the first part of the dam or the pond.
Okay.
That's the other side of the stones. And it would cool there.
Yep.
And then it would trickle in here.
Yep.
Cool back to under 20. And then it would go down. It would go through. And we've got some reed beds.
Yep.
And filter it. And then into the bottom.
Okay.
But we're more modern now. We've actually got a cooling system in addition to this. In terms of warehousing, big.
Yeah, you actually have a lot for a distillery here.
We can store about 100,000 casks.
Okay.
And in fact, that's compatible with a 4 million litre distillery using whiskey at 6 years old.
Right.
We, of course, don't use anything until it's 10 or 12.
Right.
Well, in the process, next year we'll build another 2 warehouses at the far end.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
because you're filling them up.
Well, yes. I mean, we don't sell anything.
Right.
We're very tight about ownership. So any GlenAllachie that's been produced since we owned the site in 2017 is all on site.
Excellent. Yeah, which is again unusual.
Well,
more for an independent, right?
This is a kind of conversation I have quite regularly with Alistair. That protecting the intellectual property of the band and our identity is really important. Once other people have it, they can express GlenAllachie as they wish.
Right.
And we want to tighten that.
Yeah.
Some of it's still out in the market. We're trying to buy as much back as we can. But anything after the middle of 2017 is all on here.
Okay. Do you know Julianne Fernandez with CVH?
Yeah, well, I don't know her well, but I know her.
Okay. She was over in the fall to Houston also. I got to meet her, talk to her, and she said that they are doing the same thing with as much Bunnahabhain as they can, finding it and buying it back.
Yeah.
Because of that exact, what you just said. So.
Look, it's not, I personally have no issue with independent bottlers. In fact, one would have to say that in the probably start of this century, they were really important in building brand reputation and exposing single malt to the consumer.
Especially from distilleries that they'd never even heard of.
Yeah.
Right.
And they played a really important role. So, yeah, look, they have a role to play.
Sure, yeah. So I've been enjoying thoroughly enjoying your Meikle tour, your peated stuff. I think it's...
The Meikle tour is interesting.
Yeah,
it was... I mean, the whole object of the Meikle tour project was to create a peated style that differentiated itself significantly from an Islay style of peat. So we are using mainland peat from St Fergus peatery. No iodine, no medicinal notes, smoky barbecue, tobacco leaves.
I agree, 100%. It's not Islay for sure.
It's not Islay.
No, in a good way, in a very, you know what I mean. So I've been thoroughly enjoying it. The only one I haven't been able to partake in is Turbo.
Turbo. No.
I've been trying to find one, but it is what it is.
I'm not sure if we get anything in the lab. The Turbo, I'm not sure if it's a solution or a problem.
Well, I actually like the way you do it, where your ppms are actually
in the liquid.
Not pre-mash and all that, right? I mean, that's how most people measure it.
Yeah, and I think realistically, you want to know if it's in the liquid or not.
Well, I know, but still, it's Sunday, and it's bad enough I got you up here.
There was a time, actually, when walking on the streets on the Sabbath up here would have been a sin. As a child, I was brought up in a church called the Wee Free, or the Free Presbyterian Church of Scotland. And my mother came from a village called Strontian, which is quite close to Ardnamurchan Distillery.
Okay.
And Sunday was no go. No cooking, nothing. No radio, no television, nothing, no football, nothing.
Oh my. Oh yeah. So how's this work for you? Is it kind of based on like the farthest away is the youngest, or is this?
No, actually, if I'm honest, it's based on available space.
Okay.
But we know where every cask is.
Yeah, right.
We know the absolute location of every cask.
Do they log it when they scan it and then they say it's this 3B here?
Yeah, and it's in number 8, number 7, number 6, number 5 in the rack.
Okay.
And we use a system called drams. We don't do any palletized warehousing, only conventional warehousing.
Yep.
We figure out that the guys who actually made the whiskey 100 years ago actually knew what they were doing.
Okay, so example, you got a 2024 GlenAllachie Oloroso cask right there, right? What is that? Would that be? Hello? OLO?
Liter of alcohol.
What's that?
You see that?
That's
Oloroso.
Oloroso, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Okay, Oloroso, yeah. Okay.
like almost 80.
Oh, second fill Hungarian.
Excellent cask.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the Virgin Oak casks are amazing. Scottish Virgin is the best, in my opinion.
Yes.
Scottish Virgin Oak.
Yep.
Limousine, nice and spicy. Mm-hmm. Russian Virgin Oak is terrific.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that the Carpathian?
Yes.
Okay.
We also got some oak from Siberia. We thought it might be similar to Mizunara. It's not. But Mongolian oak is.
Okay.
Quite a lot of that, doing quite a lot of that. Colombian oak from South America. Gariana from the States. Chinkapin.
Yep.
Ozark. Excellent.
You know, soon enough, you're going to be able to get some Texas white oak.
Well, we hope.
Yeah. There is a Cooper in Texas now who's going to start making Texas barrels.
Good.
And I'm sure he would. I mean, he's going to get big enough that he'll be probably able to sell some wood too.
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian?
It's very good. So, you know, we spread our wings. We're
Absolutely.
getting wood from all over the world.
Just lovely.
Look, it's just sitting here, no pressure.
Love it. Love it. So, okay, so like these are, would that be a hoggy right there? That looks a little bigger than an American barrel.
That's a hogshead.
Hogshead.
Yeah. 250 litres.
250 liters. Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
This is expensive.
Yeah. So you definitely love experimenting with wood.
Look, I was doing a tasting somewhere, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. I was making the point that it's a privately owned company, and a company that's trying to build reputation and build brand recognition is a lot easier than having a big company who've got brands who have long-term reputation. You know, they have to be consistent. We don't have handcuffs. We've got a degree of freedom that allows us to experiment. And you know, other people are too, of course, but we're bringing whiskies combinations to the market that you would never have seen 30 or 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. But is that also partly due to some of the rules loosening up from the SWA?
No, I don't think the rules are loosened up. The rules are, the rules are by definition the rules.
Yep.
The fact is that we're spending money on wood.
Okay.
We're spending money on virgin oaks of various genuses. A lot on sherry casks. And that has been a major change.
Okay. Yeah, the wood management in most places nowadays is so much better, right?
I think it's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't want to over-egg that, but I think it's better.
You're not the first person I've heard that from. You know, even in the States, they're really starting to care about that a little bit.
Well, you have to care, because once the bar is raised, you can't be left behind.
Yeah. So I think like one of the things I'm sure that's helping is the ability to now do STR, right? You can take some of these older barrels.
Well, it's part of it, but you know, the reality is that I need to be careful what I say. The best STRs are when you're taking wine casks.
Okay.
Because these actually have never been exposed to high strength spirit. There's a lot of flavor components, product building blocks left in there.
Okay.
Second, third fills, I'm struggling a wee bit. You know, you're going deeper and deeper into the woods.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Understand. There's thank you.
Thanks, Matthew.
So, do you know? Hey, here's another question. Do you know Dr. Don Livermore at J.P. Weiser's Hiram Walker on Windsor, Ontario?
I don't, but I have to say that having been an employee of Hiram Walker in the early days, fantastic company.
Yeah.
They were a fantastic company.
So I was up there about a month and a half ago. My son lives in Detroit, so we went up and visited. He puts on an amazing, like a blending class kind of a thing where you get to blend your own, kind of a.
We do this at Speyside Festival.
Do you? Okay. He lays out 70 different Canadian whiskeys.
Oh,
different, different barrels, different types, different stills that they use, everything. And he's a firm believer in use the barrel till it's falling apart.
I'm not sure.
But that's Canadian. I mean, I think they do things just a little bit differently. Obviously, they don't. Most of the time, they distill a corn whiskey. It's all corn.
Yeah.
Or if it's wheat, or if, it's all rye, 100%. Then they can blend.
Do you know at Hiram Walker's when they had the Martin Grain distillery, they, in my opinion, was the best grain, the best grain spirit that was ever produced.
Okay.
Because they actually filtered the wort with this huge rotating filter. And the spirit was so crisp, clean.
Yeah.
And I know that Alistair had a couple of Dumbarton casks, and he managed to lever them out of my possession. And he bottled them, and they were terrific. But, I'm a great believer in the wood, in my opinion. As long as you have the right flavour, building blocks in the spirit, the wood delivers about 60-70% of the flavour.
Okay.
If you're choosing the right wood.
Okay. What do you think about different yeast types, though, in producing different flavors?
Oh, it helps.
Yeah.
Some of the things we do, we use a combination of brewers and distillers yeast, which is fairly typical for the industry. Mm-hmm. But if we anticipate, for example, we're going to fill into an ex-wine cask or an ex-rum cask, we'll top dress it with rum yeast or red wine yeast or whatever. Okay.
And would that be at that, second, like you said, the top dressing? Is that
it would be midway through.
Midway through, yeah.
And then, understanding the chemistry is important.
Yes.
Making sure the right building blocks are in the spirit cut.
Yeah.
And then it's all about age. Take it when you want to take it, but understand the things that are happening. When people say age age is so important because as it's certainly in Scotch, as the whiskey is maturing, the strength is falling, 0.4% per annum, and as it's falling, the solution characteristic of a spirit is changing all the time.
Right.
So maybe at 60 or 65, it's talking to the cask and saying, I can extract this from you because you're comfortable in solution at this strength. But when I get to, let's say, 58, something else is happening. There's a different conversation going on. I can now take this into solution.
Okay.
Age is important.
Okay. But there are some good young whiskeys out there, though, too.
Yeah.
But you still believe, yes.
Look, if we got everything right,
yes,
a 12-year-old will always be better
than
a 6-year-old.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. Because you will be getting those different things happening as it ages,
Maybe it's not better, more complex.
Right, yes, right, yeah. You'll get more complex flavors, more from it, more from the barrel, okay.
And you're using all the tools in the toolbox. The spirit is reducing in strength. It's a new environment, as I said. It's talking differently to the cask. It's saying now that maybe I can take some bigger molecules out, some bigger flavour molecules that can come into solution at this strength but can't at a higher strength. That's what aging's about.
I understand. So as it's decreasing in alcohol strength, it's able to do different things.
Different things.
Okay.
And this is where the fun is.
Yes. Hey, what's that bottle? The big bottle there? No, I'm just joking. I gifted Billy a bottle of some bourbon from Texas. Shout out to Iron Root. Sorry, I know the boys down there. So yeah, this is where the fun is, isn't it?
This is where fun is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where you're tested.
Yeah. Right.
And these actually, when I look at what I was looking at, I was looking at some Mizunara casks that we had taken the whiskey from some sherry casks and put it into Mizunara casks, and coming along nicely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I see this here. We got is there anything that I shouldn't show?
No.
Okay. Like you've got a nice Solera sherry here.
Yeah. Terrific product.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very, very cool.
And this is a 35-year-old. I think.
Oh, yeah.
You wanted to try.
Yes, please. Oh, here's another one. Oh, okay. I need to show her this, that you have these sitting here. So, Elizabeth told me to say hello.
Well, she's a good girl.
Yes.
She is enthused.
Okay, Billy. So, I gave you a question to think about, which was, we're going to do a Billy Walker tasting flight based off of where you've worked throughout your career. And we're going to do, if we 5 or 6 different whiskeys. So what whiskeys would you put in that flight?
Definitely, starting with GlenAllachie, definitely the 17-year-old Mizunara Oloroso combination.
Yep.
And I'll come back to GlenAllachie.
Sure. Yep.
In terms of GlenAllachie, there was one that we didn't release and should be released, and it was GlenAllachie that had been matured in Massandra sherry wine cask from the Crimea.
Okay.
And Massandra, the Massandra sherry, the Massandra winery was the preferred winery of the Russian royal family.
Okay.
These were interesting casks. The oak was unbelievably thick.
Right.
It's a shame it hasn't been released, but that would definitely be one of them. That would be the GlenAllachie. GlenAllachie would be the 18-year-old. I'm not sure what we called it. My memory.
Just a regular 18-year-old GlenAllachie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deanston, we had a 1966. They didn't bottle it under my tenure. They have since bottled it, but I didn't bottle it because that was the year when England won the World Cup. We couldn't be seen to celebrate that. But from the core range at Benedict, it would be probably I think it was a 16-year-old. Very good. GlenAllachie, the core range is interesting. The 12 and the 15 are stunning.
Yes.
And we're lucky as we move along this journey. You learn so much along the way, and you learn from your mistakes. Mm-hmm. You do things. There's always things that you're learning and you are recreating in your mind. I have to say, though, that the Sintish series has been interesting. It's work we've done we've been exploring, how these different combinations react, and it's such an interesting learning experience. And even though they are relatively younger, 2014, 15, they spark each other. The virgin casks, the various types of virgin oak genus, and the various types of sherries are talking beautifully to each other, just hitting the sweet spot. So these would certainly be on the menu. These would be in the lineup.
Okay. Anything from your beginning days? Because you worked at Hiram Walker. Is there anything there that was interesting that you did?
I was much more of a very junior individual there, but we did a lot of. Ballantyne's in these days was a fantastic brand, and we shouldn't forget that blended whiskey is such an important player in the industry still.
Yes.
Ballantyne's was a fantastic blend. But we owned interesting distilleries, and they owned Milton Duff, Glenburgie, Tormore, a whole host of distilleries. Yeah. So there's a lot of exciting stuff to play with. And the blender then was Jack Jout.
Okay.
He was special.
Anything from Tobermory?
Tobermory was an interesting part of the journey. You know, we inherited this distillery that had been managed. We've gone through a few hands. It had periods of long closure. And recommissioning it was a real challenge.
Being on an island, right?
Yeah. And if I'm being honest, I didn't have enough time really to bring something special to the market. But it was a nice distillery. It was maritime. It was medium peated. It was it was nice. And we certainly introduced the Ledig series. So maybe something from the Ledig series.
Okay, excellent.
Deanston, on the other hand, we had to recommission Deanston as well. It's interesting, you know, at that time, there were so many distilleries, mothballed and closed. And even when we bought Benriach in 2004, it was a time in the industry where it wasn't a great period. You know, there was something like maybe 12 to 15 distilleries mothballed or closed. So, you know, we're lucky to have enjoyed some really quite exciting, exhilarating in some cases, over the last 20 years. And, you know, we don't recognise the narrative that's happening in the industry just now. Everything that we bottle now is pre-sold.
Okay.
I keep telling the industry, talk the industry up. This category is an exceptional category. There may be one or two headwinds at the moment, but that's all they are.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a dip.
It's a dip, yeah.
It's a dip, which you can't continuously go up.
And only if you see we keep telling, look at the world through a wide lens. Don't look at necessarily through a European lens or an American lens.
Yes.
Look at the world through a wider lens. What's happening in Asia in terms of consumer recognition of this category is amazing.
Yeah. Taiwan especially, right?
Actually, right now it's Vietnam.
Oh, really? Okay.
Incredible. And, you know, because the brand has got traction now.
Excellent.
And people come from, they're huge in South Korea, China, Taiwan, Japan. So these are the holidaymakers that come to Vietnam and they ask for the brand. So now the brand is getting really, really circulated well.
Nice. Yes.
Great market, Vietnam. It will be and will continue to be very, very interesting country. But it's important, don't see the world through a narrow lens. The world is the world. You know, I went to Kazakhstan a few months ago. Fantastic market.
I bet.
You know, amazing Almaty, very old city.
Yeah.
But absolutely bouncing, vibrant.
Yes.
Drinking.
Yeah.
Hopefully drinking GlenAllachie, but drinking. Certainly drinking some GlenAllachie.
Right, exactly, yes, yeah. No, so, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, those are markets that they're just
evolving.
And in a very, like you said, very vibrant, quick way, because for a long time they were
fun. But, you know, they have, a lot of these countries have got gas and oil, you know, they are, in terms of domestic and available, they're well paid people.
Absolutely,
you know,
correct.
Cash isn't an issue, and they want to be part of the whole world experience.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're bringing the world to them.
Yeah.
And you're helping.
Yeah, it's great. So, and we, as a company, we tend to target markets that are not owned by the bigger companies.
Yes.
That are evolving. Markets that have kind of broken away from the old USSR, China, just markets that are finding their own personality now.
Yeah. China, you mentioned China. Obviously, they're even starting to do single malt over there.
And
have you had any of it over there while you in your trips?
I have tasted.
I'm not asking you to.
No, I'm not going to offer an opinion.
Okay.
Other than you know, China is.
It's a huge market.
It's unbelievable. You know,
I mean, that and India, those two are...
Shanghai,
right?
the city of Shanghai, Greater Shanghai, it's 26 million people.
Right, in one city.
Disposable income high. In fact, I did a tasting there some months ago. It's 500 people at the tasting. The demograph was 50-50 male-female.
Yep.
And the age group was probably somewhere between 30 and 45. Wow. I mean, the ideal consumer base.
Truly. That's a big tasting, 500 people.
It's a big tasting. It was I have to say, it was very well choreographed for the people, but
Yes.
it's telling you a story though.
Yeah.
It's a secondary story that people are interested.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
China is such a huge country. They're not all going to be like Shanghai, but it's evolving.
Yeah.
And, Asia is amazing.
Yeah. And the States is big for you though too.
States is important.
Right.
It's a mature market.
Yep.
It's got a lot of people who are our challenge in life is to connect with whiskey people who are curious, inquisitive, interested. And that's the audience we have in the States. Mm-hmm. People who actually understand what we're trying to do and achieve.
Right.
It's not the biggest part of the American audience, but it's a very important one.
Right. Yeah, because especially with what you're doing, you want,
and
they will understand what you're doing. Yeah,
and it starts a conversation about GlenAllachie, or indeed any other distillery that's involved.
Yeah.
America's important. South America's a bit more of a challenge. Canada's a good market. It's an important market, in spite of the various challenges to get into the liquor control laws. But it's a good market.
Yes.
And the world's an amazing place, and we just need to make sure that we're not seeing it through too narrow a lens.
Right.
It's bigger perhaps than most people think.
Exactly. Well, Billy, thank you. That was a great answer, by the way. I loved it. And thank you for taking some of your very precious time and meeting with me.
Pleasure.
No, I seriously, I immensely appreciate you taking some time for me. And I'm going to let you get back to birthday, yes.
Granddaughter birthday.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope to see you in the future.
Sure.
Come back.
I'll definitely come back to America and do another. I loved all of the tastings in America. The presentations the audiences were very engaging.
Yeah. I think most of the ones you got were relatively experienced.
Yeah, but curious, inquisitive.
Yeah. But I mean, they knew the questions
and knowledgeable. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so
well educated about whiskey.
Well, and we loved having you there, especially in Texas. I know that was your first trip to Texas, right?
Yeah, I love Texas. I loved Austin. I loved Austin and Houston.
Yeah,
I thought they were fantastic. Loved Indianapolis.
You did not make it to Dallas, which is sad, but that's okay. Maybe one day we'll get you up to Dallas.
Yeah, next time.
I'd
love to go to Dallas.
Yeah, it's okay. I live there, and I can say it's okay.
Texas is such a big.
It is. It is.
Big area.
Yeah, when we say I'm going to drive to Houston, that's 4 hours, and it's nothing to us. It's halfway across the country for you. So.
No, probably in the sea by that time.
Well, no, thank you again. I do appreciate it.
Well, thanks for coming.
All right.
It's always nice to talk to people who are interested in whiskey and single malt.
Yeah. Well, I'm hopefully going to help spread the word even a little bit.
That's it. Spread the gospel.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
I want to thank the one and only Billy Walker for taking some time to show me around the distillery and have a chat with me during my recent trip to Scotland. He is such a gentleman, and I truly cannot say how much I appreciate him taking his time to meet me up in Speyside for the visit and the talk. Now, this is a segment I like to call, What is Chris Putting in His Mouth? This week's dram is a bit unfair, actually, because this dram is only available at the Deanston Distillery in Scotland. It is a 19-year-old Deanston, it's a single malt, finished 6 of those years in an Armagnac cask. Right here. Right there. It's bottled at cask 55.7% ABV from cask number 476. The nose has zesty, crisp green apples and pears for days with a hint of honey and graham crackers at the end. The palate gives a nice zesty lemon and comes through, but the Armagnac takes over and some lovely grape-based notes come through along with some oakiness at the end. It has a long finish that leaves your mouth with an almost effervescent feeling that lingers for minutes. The usual waxy Deanston mouthfeel is not as pronounced in this dram, but it is so wonderful. when you're in Scotland next, make sure you plan a trip to Deanston for a tour. Truly wonderful tour, truly wonderful people, truly wonderful Scotch. Good times will be had. So, the cigar of the week is the new Punch release for the 2026 Chinese New Year in the Egg Roll XL. The 6x60 Vitola. This is basically a larger version of the original 4.5x50 cigar released in 2019. It has a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Ecuadorian Sumatra seed binder, and fillers from Colombia, the Dominican Republic, Mexico, and the U.S. It is made in the STG factory in Danlí, Honduras. It's a rougher looking cigar out of the plastic, but it's not in an intolerable way. The bottom inch has a shaggy foot, so when you're lighting the binder, not the wrapper, so you don't get the wrapper taste right away. It's a medium to full body cigar that gives off a wonderful aroma all the way through, with hints of raisins and damp, funky earth like barnyard smell, which can put some people off. But for me, growing up on a farm, it hits me right at home. The end gives you the earthiness, but adds some nice cacao and baked spices. All in all, a wonderful smoke, especially for the price. $7.50 per cigar. It's available now at your local retailer. Now, as always, I want to thank you for joining me on this amazing journey to learn all that I can about these three amazing industries. I hope you were able to learn something new from this episode, but more importantly, I hope that you were entertained and will continue to listen and watch the program moving forward. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, like the video, like the video, leave comments, and please spread the word to your friends and family. I will always love having new followers. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. And if you wouldn't mind, please leave a review, as that helps the algorithm help other people find the channel. Also, please let me know if you have any ideas you would like to hear about in upcoming episodes, and I'll see what I can conjure up. I will see you next week on the Whiskey and Smoke News Network, and remember, please drink and smoke responsibly. Have a good night.